Alright guys, welcome back. Right now I'm going to actually react to one of the most disgusting things I have ever seen in the entire internet. Us, me and you get mad at this shit. Like, don't get me wrong, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but just don't promote it like that. You can post like, oh yeah, I'm fat, good. That's it. That's all you gotta do, baby. Come on. Now let's see what this guy has to say. I already know it's gonna be some fucked up shit, dude. Some BS. I don't. Let me see.
Okay, so I want to talk about fat phobia, and it's tied to white supremacy. In
Told
the
you.
18th century, people used to sort slaves through skin color, but as slaves started being lighter skinned because they were mating.
Me and him are slaves, believe it or not. Which is, that's just not a thing anymore. But we used to be slaves. My people and his people. I think it's Filipino, right? I don't fucking know. Asians look alike. Okay, that's kind of racist. Anyways, and actually, I don't give a fuck. Anyways, we used to be slaves, baby. If you're white and you're watching this, I don't know, man. You white? I don't know.
With white slave owners, that became a less reliable metric. So they started adding traits to black people to distinguish them further, and one of them was fatness. While being fat for white people was seen as being rich and being opulent, for black people it was seen as a sign for laziness, but also being sensual, which kind of sounds like a good thing now, but in the 18th century it was seen as sort of satanic to be sensual. It was a huge marketing success that we still deal with today, where we view fat people as lazier, less productive, and it's not true. So to perpetuate fat phobia is to perpetuate white supremacy.
You probably know someone who's thin, but they eat a lot and exercise very little. So why is it so wild to think that you also probably know someone who's fat, but eats very little and exercises a lot?
Fat phobes love to tattle on themselves. This is on a video about how being afraid of being fat is inherently fat phobic. She's like, I don't agree. I'm like, that's fat phobia. She's like, actually, it's because I want to be able to walk upstairs without being out of breath. That's embarrassing.
It really isn't. Okay.
Do you want to know something crazy? This is my body.
Okay. So?
Do you want to know something crazier? I don't hate it. Do you know that you can actually have a body and not hate it?
Oh, you mean you're wanting...
Right, it's about the fourth time I've filmed this now because I'm getting angry. I've had quite a few comments this week of people saying things like, oh, well, it works for me. Oh, well, I've lost such and such weight. Well, I know someone who works for each to their own. Slimming World, Weight Watchers, Slim Fast don't work for anyone. The vast majority of people are going to lose weight when they first start. Then it's going to stop. Then about 90% of people are either going to regain it, regain more weight, hello, or in some cases, get a fucking eating disorder. I lost 4 stone at Slimming World. So don't be sat there thinking that just because you've lost weight now, that you've won in that equation. You ain't, they're playing you. No one in diet culture, in any diet company, is winning unless you are the owner of that business, because that's where the money's going. Diet clubs will feed you lies about nutrition and health and tell you that being thin equals healthy. It's not. It's fat phobic. It's inaccurate. They want your money. They don't give a shit about your health or your well-being.
Say that your heartburn and your back pain is caused by your weight. What are we going to do about that? If I were to prescribe you a low-calorie diet and exercise, I know that 1 to 2/3 of that weight is going to be regained in 1 year, and almost all of it will be regained within 5. Health at Every Size is actually a multidisciplinary approach that shifts the focus from weight management to health promotion. So instead of using weight as a barometer for success, we focus on health behaviors. Health at Every Size is also a social justice movement. Patients in larger bodies face many disparities. Healthcare providers spend less time with them, are more reluctant to perform screening tests like mammograms and pelvic exams, and they're less likely to seek medical help. You are right about the shaming piece, that's called weight stigma, which negatively impacts patients even on a physiologic level. Several well-designed randomized control trials have found that health at every size leads to better patient outcomes.
Just a reminder that I am very fat and very sexy. And I am 100% glorifying obesity.
Oh, hell no.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Let's just call Trump and be. I think we need some Navy SEALs in that, We need to check out CIA, get her IP address, and then boom, disappear. Right? Fugazi. It's fake. It's a joke.
Now this is problematic, but here's why. I will not be commenting whether I have or not, because that's not the point. But let's say for hypothetical purposes that my body has changed. You don't know what it took to get there. If I was starving, restricted, dehydrated, overexercised, all in the name of I'm on a ED recovery journey, not a weight loss journey. By this narrative, it means that I don't deserve to recover unless I'm smaller. I'm not worthy enough of recovering unless I'm in a smaller body, which is not the case. And also, really a key concept for me to be able to come to terms with my eating disorder. It was really hard for me to let go of that dream, but that dream kept me the sickest. So yes, I'm striving for health, but it has nothing to do with weight loss.
So as you can see, this is the hashtag body positivity on Instagram, and it's mostly straight-sized people with a few plus-size people sprinkled in. And it's a huge reason why I emphasize that I'm talking about fat acceptance when I talk about my experience as a fat person, because even though body positivity has its roots in fat acceptance, it has become something that's more for people who have a certain body type. And that is fine. I'm all for being confident in who you are and accepting who you are despite what society has told you, no matter what your size is. However, I specifically want to uplift and bring acceptance to my fat people. So that's why I specifically use fat acceptance.
Let's talk about it, because I think if we clear up this confusion, we'll all be a lot more on the same page. We do not have as much control over the size of our bodies as society would like us to think we do. Just like your height, the biggest determining factor of your body size is genetics. Also environment, also socioeconomic status, also epigenetic factors. A very, very small percentage of what determines the way our body looks is individual behaviors like what we eat and how we move. When you add that to the fact that 95% of intentional weight loss efforts fail, and most actually result in weight gain and are extremely detrimental to a person's health, you see how the logic of oppression only being about things that you don't have control over applies to anti-fat bias.
Interesting.
When real fat women get banned from posting and get put under review for showing their body.
If you have not seen this video, go watch the full thing. Hannah the Harpist speaking straight facts again. This video is actually directed at this comment that I saw in her comment section of somebody saying straight nonsense. Being fat does not equal unhealthy. I'm gonna say it again. Being fat does not equal unhealthy. In fact, a Harvard 2019 study suggested that 70% of weight is caused by genetics, not diet and exercise. Genetics. And on top of that, most people who are classified as obese or overweight are actually perfectly healthy. According to a 2015 study by UCLA, 54 million Americans are classified as obese or overweight, even though they're perfectly healthy individuals. And even if it did have to do with health, it doesn't. Did you know that doctors can legally discriminate against a person for being fat? How the fuck are they supposed to fix a health issue if doctors can legally discriminate against their health? Fat phobia has nothing to do with science and everything to do with hating fat people for no fucking reason.
As you can see, these people don't even know what they're talking about. It's so much, not pain, it's just so much anger of how people like to glorify this kind of stuff, And I know, if you're watching this and you glorify this stuff, which, I'm pretty sure maybe some of you that subscribe glorify this kind of stuff. Sure, I'll be happy to hear your opinions and your comments, of course, but why would you suggest to the public, to the main public, the public eye, social media, right? Doesn't matter what platform. Why are you trying to glorify something that it will affect you? Even though, let's say that genetics, play a big role on how fat you get, right? genetics, right? You're healthy at every size, let's say. Why would you promote that? What if you have kids that are skinny and you're just fat? Are you just gonna say, "Oh, it's just because I'm special. I'm special being. I'm healthy. Fucking 320 pounds at 5'2". Bro, come on. Don't kid yourself. Or women, or men. I don't know. Why? You know, it's just a little thought to think about right now. I would suggest for you to actually comment down below and just leave your comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day and a beautiful night. Bye bye.